the global matrix, what we're trapped in and how it exists and exactly what it is. Look, we live on a fixed plane, and a brief study of Euclidean geometry will reveal that lines that are perpendicular to a plane are parallel to one another. In other words, if I'm standing here and you're standing here, we're parallel to each other, right? But on the surface of a sphere, lines that are perpendicular to the tangent of the surface of the sphere aren't parallel to one another. They point away from each other, and they intersect at the center of the sphere. So what we're told is that we live on the surface of a sphere, and that lines perpendicular to the tangent of that surface are not parallel. That all lines perpendicular to the surface converge at a single point below our feet called the center of gravity, right? So if parallel lines converge, that's called non-Euclidean geometry. Parallel lines don't overlap. Not in the real world, okay? But to say that they do would mean that they intersect below our feet. That also means that that parallel lines get further and further apart above our heads, right? That the stars are further apart. Like if the star's right over your head in Kansas, and it's right over mine, and a different one's right over mine in Kentucky, those two stars are actually astronomically further apart than you and I are. And that's just not true, right? There's a one-to-one relationship between heaven and earth. As above, so below. The elites practice the occult. They should know these things. But to practice a science that says that the universe is other than how God created it, that's a Luciferian sort of pursuit to build something away from God. And so you would end up in a hellish place, a matrix of your own design, if you try to create a scientific world that's not real. You know what I mean? We're literally living inside of Einstein's fucked up brain. E does not equal mc squared, right? Special relativity and gravity are just huge placeholders to hold all the bullshit that would have to occur for us to be on a spinning globe hurtling through space. Look, the globe matrix is this. Here's what it is. We live on a fixed plane with the North Pole at center. The continents surround it, the Great Southern Ocean, the shores of Antarctica, and then 90 degrees south is a 78,000-mile perimeter around a level sea, right? The South Pole is not a single point at the bottom of a globe. So we're confounded, we're trapped. We can't move outside of 90 degrees south. We're told that that's land's end, that there's nothing beyond there. We're told that it folds back in on itself. So that's a trap in itself. But then we're also sold the hoax that, on the other hand, land to either side of us is finite, but on the other hand, the heavens are infinite. That they just keep widening. Because when you take the map of the flat, fixed plane and wrap it around the sphere, and then move that out the stars must be further apart, and they must be further apart from each other. And an ever-widening, conical, expanding universe. That's why 99.99999% of the universe is undiscovered black, gray matter that just can't be, because it's a non-Euclidean proposition to suggest that we live on the surface of a sphere. It just can't be, right? And that is the globe matrix. Not only is space not infinite above our head, yes, as you get higher, the air gets thinner until there's no oxygen, but there's a one-to-one relationship with heaven and earth. Heaven doesn't spread out in a sphere around us. There's only one up and one down. And for each point in heaven, there's a point on earth. A single point. There aren't many points in heaven for each single point on earth. Right? That would mean that even below that, the convergence point, none of it makes sense. Look, I'll leave you with that.